Hey everybody, this is Lisa with the Conquered For Me podcast. Today I have a special guest with Sober Living of the Rockies with country and someone who has been in radio show host for 20 years, number one on 103 Fox.
Who's that?
Floorwax. This is country with the Sober Livings of the Rockies and his...
And that's Floorwax.
Yeah.
I'm staying over at Country's right now because I'm not welcome anywhere else in town. So we're glad to be here today.
Yes, I'm definitely really appreciative that I know this person and he knows you. It's all just honestly turning into this whole community with different people like across the board, realizing that we all have talent. We all have something about us that just drives the passion of serving community.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that I'm being part of a community because I'm normally kicked out of the community first. Then something happens.
Yeah, I feel it. It's definitely a journey. Everybody who's listening, you know, my Conquer For Me podcast is about bridging the gap between abuse and addiction. We're just going to touch on pretty much people
Wow. The way I do it, abuse and addiction is the same thing.
Yes.
I abuse any property that I can get, liquid, powder, anything like that. Cigarettes. I mean, when I was 10 years old, I'm smoking cigarettes. My dad said, okay, fine. He didn't care. At least I wasn't shooting up. That's what he thought.
I started smoking when I was 12, too.
That's something that tastes the best when you're 12. You got to get used to them.
Yeah. So if all our younger generation who is listening, it's definitely changed. Now here we are in recovery and really just embracing life and knowing that there is never a time to can't not do something. Like you can always do something.
In recovery.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know, it'll take a while to recover from this, hanging out with you guys. But, recovery, it's the most beautiful word out there because you're saving people's lives. You know, a lot of people don't know that. Oh, well, he's a drunk or he's on this or he's on that. No, he's on the way down and not coming back. Yeah. So that's cool that you have a show about it.
Yeah, you know, it's a huge thing that I feel back in the day when I was in my addiction, it was just go to work. Just keep working. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you need the money to get high. I mean, come on.
There was no sober living. Back in my childhood, it was in my family, and it was the same thing. You know, he's a hard worker, worked hard every day, but it was there, and it was a silent. It was like no.
If everybody could look as good as you, that they wouldn't want to be junkies either. They'd say, "Hey, look where I'm going to end up." All right.
That's the before. This is the after.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel. I mean, everyone has their own journey, but I'm curious. When you were in the radio, because you said you were in 103.5 The Fox.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah.
At number one.
That is so amazing because I love communication, just like public speaking in general.
Well, you're a natural at it. Plus, you're cute. Why wouldn't you like it? What's you got to not like?
So my question is for you, though. What was your favorite thing about being on that show?
Favorite thing about it was you got to make up 4 hours off the top of your head every day. There's no other job in the world like that.
Well, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. And since I can't remember anything, I want to make up as much as I can.
Yeah. That's so cool. I listen to 103.5 The Fox now, and when he told me that, I was like, at first I thought it was someone who was like actually on the radio right now. I was like, oh my
gosh. Right. Oh, no. I've been off the radio for a while. I got pretty sick, but now I feel good, and we got your invitation, man. Me and Country, we bolted right over here.
That's cool. I love to hear it. Thank you. That really warms my heart because this has been a on and off process. I have always had a dream of having my own podcast and show about.
Well, the dream is here. I mean, this is a hip room, too. This isn't just some jive-ass thing. I mean, it's cool in here.
I know. I was thankful to find Squishy Studios. This is my time to pretty much embrace my self-healing, my self-care, get out of the grit for a while. So what are your goals, though? What are your goals getting out of the sober living or in the sober living? What do you want to bring to guests in the house?
Well, you know something? I've learned so much from Country. I mean, Country is in there watching out for everybody, and you can't even tell because he's hip. You know what I mean? He's doing his jokes, singing his songs, doing all his stuff. So I'm comfortable over there. It's awesome.
Good. I love to hear that. It's really rare, you can find a good home that is a sober living. And Country will tell you because he's obviously been in this field. So I'm really thankful for him that he's been able to do what he's been
What's your favorite part about it, Country?
Transforming people's lives one day at a time.
Yes.
How about that? That's power right there. And I've been over there. I'm living over there right now.
Yeah.
And I see them come in, and I see them, their face starts getting bright, and they start grooving around, and Country talks to them, and he sends them on their way, and they go out sober.
So, Country, I'm curious to ask, what started you on this journey, and how long have you been on it?
So December 15th, 2021 is my sober date. I had to have a spiritual awakening. I knew drugs had to be out of my life for me to succeed and live happy. And so as Satan was trying to put the nails in me, God opened windows and set me free.
Yeah, and you're weird enough without the drugs, brother. You're hip, you're funny. I mean, everybody wants to be around you all the time. They call him country?
Yeah.
Not too many. They don't even call George Jones country.
No, you know, it's so funny. When I got out of my addiction, people thought I was very weird, and like I became more isolated, but some people didn't even realize I was addicted because I was a functional addict, unfortunately. But until I wasn't.
you hang around longer doing it that way.
Yeah, so unfortunately, the more sober I got, the more people strayed away. The more I realized I don't have like community, and I had to find a recovery community because the people who weren't in recovery, the people who weren't like doing the work in this field of knowing what addiction is and accepting that it is a life taker.
And those aren't your friends. You know what I mean? They're not like Country. Like, we're pals, we're friends. He teaches me. We have a gas together. We know all songs that have ever been written between us. We're driving along and, I love you, big Country. And we sing all our songs on going down the road, and Country's the best. He's the best.
So what would you, if you don't mind me asking, what was your vice?
My vice?
Yeah.
What wasn't my vice? Maybe save some time. No, I was big into alcohol. Bottle of rum, and now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And then, whatever else anybody had, none of this. I did not do that because my dad told me when I was growing up, he said, if I catch you doing this, overhand right. Yeah. So he saved me from that. But the booze got to me. Country, nothing slowed you down when you were getting high.
The needle.
Oh, yeah. Thankfully, I never got to that point, but unfortunately, some people did try to jab me when I was out. But it is right now where we are in this crisis. Unfortunately, fentanyl and the needle is taking
a needle and a spoon and a trip to the moon.
Yeah, and the most scariest thing about it is why I'm actually doing this work more and more and bridging this gap is because I also have children, but children are actually dying off of smoking weed because it has fentanyl in it. And that's the biggest thing that I was like back in the day when I would get high off of swag and shit, I didn't have to worry about overdosing.
Plus, the dope dealers were so lazy; they weren't going to put extra stuff in there.
Yeah, it really just blew my mind. When I was in the rehabs, I started realizing some people in there that were really young and had kids that were younger, but they felt horrible. They would tell me stories about they accidentally gave fentanyl to their child and this and that, and I'm just like,
well, it's around. Wow. It ain't hard to find.
No,
it's in everything.
See, like during our time, it was like during my time, it was like fentanyl didn't start coming out until I was ending my addiction and I was in a last relapse, and that is what pretty much saved me because I was like, I won't fuck with it.
I understand that, and there's a difference between you and I there's a lot more drugs around now. I mean, I was a stunt man for Bacardi, so I could booze as hard as I could hit, and the rest of it just came along.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, came right on you. You both are miracles.
Yeah. I mean, what about you, Country? So what was your first vice?
Not weed. I think that was my gateway.
That was your gateway.
I think everybody started with that. I felt pretty good. I went to cocaine and then couldn't afford cocaine. So I think meth and shooting dope was that was in my wheelhouse. That's something I could afford.
Right. Plus you're rough and tough. You're like, shoot dope, great. Okay, let's get it on. I mean, not me.
So how do you guys feel about the new era of, what they like to say is California sober, which means that people who are in recovery are allowed to still get high off of weed?
California sober.
To me, that's not being sober.
And that's, unfortunately, that's what they're trying to pass. I just knew this because DHS just told me this, that they're allowing their clients in recovery, but as long as they have a medical license, they can still have their kids and get high.
You know what? They're just doing that to get people in their program. Country, that's not for real. You can't be smoking weed when you don't get high anymore, can you?
No, we do allow them into our sober living as long as those levels are coming down, though. So it's important that we offer support for those people, but it's not a program where you can continuously get high.
Right.
Levels climb, we have a different conversation.
Yeah, 100%. And I really just feel, honestly, this is where we're kind of battling in recovery is against there's nothing wrong with weed entirely. But there is something wrong with it when you're in recovery and you're changing one vice for another, because you're not in recovery if you're still relying on weed to get high.
If you're in that sober living house, then you're triggering other people.
Yeah.
So you're definitely not in recovery at that
That's
moment.
a good point,
Yeah.
Country.
It
You're
is.
making everybody else weaker.
Right.
Yeah.
You showing up stoned, don't you feel normal? I think you're high and I want to get high.
Right. So piggybacking off that real quick, what is the process to get into your sober living, Country?
So we have a webpage, www.slor, which stands for Sober Living the Rockies. So it's an acronym. So www.slor.care.
Oh, gotcha.
There's an application process. Takes a couple minutes to fill that out. We have 3 homes in Aurora, Colorado, all male. We're seeking our 4th and 5th house as we're speaking now.
Yeah.
Nice.
And speaking of that, you can also reach out to me as well as I bridge the gap. And you guys are the first live guests, so I'm really thankful for that. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it's downhill from here.
Well,
We're
it's domino
pretty big
effect.
intellects in town, I mean, come on now.
So what would you say, what would you say was one of the hardest things when you started in your recovery? Like, what was the biggest kind of gap you had to get over to really
Country?
push forward? For either of you, go first.
For me,
second.
to admitting that I was out of control with my drug addiction, I think that, to have to admit that I was out of control was something very hard for me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got it together now. I mean, you don't get high now, and you're running the whole thing like it's candy for you.
We have an elite team over there. I'm not. It's not a one-man show for me. I am boots on the ground in the trenches daily.
Yeah. No, boots on the ground, definitely.
Well, let me ask you this now.
Yeah.
This studio is cool.
Yeah. Thanks to Squishy Studios.
When I came up, the only studios were in FM or AM. That's it.
Yeah.
And for many years. And
Yeah.
now you got a hipper studio than any of the FMs in town. I've been in all of them. So you're doing it right. And you got like the warm lights where, you look awesome and we look a little better than usual.
We cleaned up rather well.
Right.
I really just got inspiration, and the universe led me to this place, literally. I seen this on a Facebook ad, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get in there and do my podcast. I don't care. Because I had been putting it off. I was like, I would submit applications to the radio shows.
Right.
Be like, oh, let me get it. But none of them would ever get back to, or they'd be like, do you got a lot of money?
Well, they're all, it's just a bunch of sales teams with microphones.
Yeah, I kind of realized
this is
that.
much more natural right here. You're starting in the right place.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But this is going to be a whole movement, not just with you, but with his community, with whoever you speak to. I don't know.
Whoever speaks to me, zip.
Yeah. But whoever you have in your family, your friends, if they have a story to share, that's pretty much what this is all about. Being able, especially here in Colorado, being able to get it out and be like, hey, you got a story to share, you got a redemption, you got something.
Country has a great story.
Yeah.
He's a survivor, and now he's in the front end of helping people. Not a lot of people like that in the world.
I definitely say we're miracle workers.
When I'm over there at your place, Country, I know you're running the show. I'm going to be comfortable. Everything's going to be fine. I don't have to get all uptight and worried.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, Country.
It's just basically turning your mess into a message. That's all I did. Just turn my own mess into a message with a spiritual awakening and giving everything to God.
All right. Give everything to God. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for having us on. You've got a cool setup here. You'll be having a good time.
Yeah. And I do want to touch on Country's story on a longer session for sure on what he's willing to share. What is a day in the life at the Sober Living?
A lot of fun finding who you really are. Being sober isn't about just staying substance free. It's about creating a new lifestyle so your addiction does not catch back up to you.
Well said, Country. Well said.
Love it. Yeah.
And Country, you know how to do that with people because you read them fast, and you keep everything light over there, and people, they're encouraged when you're there, Country.
So
That's what I think.
What would you say if you were to meet somebody or anybody just randomly and you were to see they were struggling or they reached out, either one, what would you say to them?
I've been where you're at. A lot of empathy and compassion goes into doing outreach and just being able to relate with that individual, saying, hey, I see me in you, brother. And if I can get sober, you can too.
Yeah.
That's how it starts.
And that's a powerful place to start, Country.
Yeah.
If you can't see yourself in that individual, how are you ever going to help them out of that?
Yes, that's 100%. And I think that's like one of the double-edged swords in this work, because then it comes with our boundaries in doing this work, because we do see ourselves in that person. But then sometimes my own experience, I've had to realize that, unfortunately, just because we see ourselves in that person, we can't always get them to where they want to be unless they want it bad enough
that
themselves.
I don't want to get high anymore, but for some reason I miss snorting stuff. In real life you can't go, well, here's dinner, and then,
Yeah. I would say the healing is not linear, and neither is addiction, but it's also with this movement. It's not linear. Like, some moments we're going to be, we're empowering people are recovering, and other moments we just want to, I have just wanted to toss in
linear, is that like doing lines?
Linear?
No?
It's a straight line. We're in a straight line. It's not a straight
country,
line.
I missed that one. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
She's way too smart for me, country. You talk to this kid. She is super smart.
Oh my gosh. So I would ask you, when did your recovery date start?
1981.
Nice.
I was 19 years old. I was getting high every day, and I had this had ambition like you have when you're a kid, and it was getting crushed down. Yeah. And I said, man, I'm going to end up 0.0 nowhere. Oh. And then my buddy's mother was a drug counselor, and that's what saved me.
Oh, amen. Amen for that.
So then it's true. Dreams don't expire. They just wait for you to catch up.
Oh, 100%.
See, that's a good way to put. Man, you are a walking bumper sticker.
Yeah.
With your language. I love it.
Yeah, there's no age on dreams. I have a friend right now who's graduating with her bachelor's, and she's in her 50s, and she never thought she'd be where she's at. And she's board of directors. And honestly, it's people that, even my father, because he's, he beat his alcoholism, but with this addiction in general, it's a hard field to be in, you know? And so seeing someone like you, like with country and just being in the community, it's really going to change a lot for other people, because it's like,
and it's a different kind of conviction when you're getting high.
They're
going to run you, you're going to jail, or you're going to die, or you're going to go in the hospital. And that's what 100%. I was told when I started. My buddy's mother was a drug counselor, and I was 21 years old. And I asked her, what's going on? She goes, you're on your way out. You were on your way out, son.
Yeah.
And I was shocked by it, because we were buddies, because me and her, her son were buddies.
Yeah.
But she turned it right around and just said, hey, you're on your way out.
Yeah.
And I know also I've had an epiphany lately from getting to be with country over there at his place. They get loose faster now. You got a better chance at getting sober now when you're around somebody like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yes, the resources for recovery are a lot more than what they used to be. And it's just really navigation, and really just this having podcasts, having a house, getting his website out there, and really just out there, boots on the ground.
What's your website, country?
www.slor.care.
Yes. Love it.
That's pretty hip.
So everybody who's listening, if you are struggling right now, if you know somebody who's struggling, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to me directly or at his website.
The good news is people do recover, though. You're not stuck in recovery your entire life.
No.
There's going to be a point where you will feel empowered and you'll be back to feeling recovered.
Country, I think that is super important thing that you just said.
Yeah,
because people do think when they first stop that, oh, this is it, I'm shutting it down. I guess I'll live and everything, but not country. He's getting his guys out there going, what are you interested in?
Yep.
What are you turned on by? Here, what do you think your spirituality is? And let's go get something to eat.
Yeah, it's definitely rediscovery and self-awareness and establishing those basic needs, because it's unfortunate. Addiction takes our whole life. It takes away our creativity. It takes away our spirituality. It takes away so much that we should have experienced. But since we were living in this addiction, we didn't get to experience it. So whether we're 50, 60, 30, whatever, we're going to end up experiencing those things. And the biggest thing is with art therapy, which is what I do, because it really helps. Not everybody.
Who's art?
So art therapy is something where you can do paint pouring. So my biggest thing is a lot of clients don't like to sit down and talk to a therapist. It's a lot for them. So we do paint pouring. We do painting and all the things, just so they release a lot of emotion and a lot of feelings into their pieces.
I could see that leading to wanting to rap to somebody.
You could do collages and just voice who you are on poster boards. So.
Really?
Yeah, all sorts
I wasn't
of stuff.
hip to that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what we do in my program, and so I'm really excited to kind of get it involved more into the sober livings. I used to do it in the rehabs, but it's really important because it's never too late to explore that inner child. because addiction takes that away.
I have no choice but to explore my inner child because that's what I am.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to be an adult, but probably going to hit the coffin first before that.
Well, I really appreciate you guys on the show today. I want to touch back next time with a longer story, a longer session, more details, really getting into it. And thank you all for listening. You can catch his website at
www.slor.care.
Yeah, and you can catch me on Facebook, Conquered For Me, and my website, conqueredforme.org.
And you can talk to me in your dreams.
Yeah. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.